Hi, my name's Kevon Owen. This is my friend Jack Smith. And Jack, I was reading a book by Steven Furtick where he pointed out that humility is not self-deprecation, and the difference that is there, because oftentimes we confuse the two. What do you make of that?
Yeah, man, being humble isn't necessarily being hard on yourself. It's understanding that anything that you have, that any talents that you might have or abilities you might have comes from God. So the boasting should be in God, and that's where you allow humility to set in, where you understand, hey, this isn't even my talent, this is God's talent. And it helps you steward things you have a lot better when you're humble, instead of thinking, oh, this is all me, I'm such a great singer, watch me do this. Now you got that talent from God. So I think that's where humility for me comes in, is understanding that everything I have good is from the Creator. I can't take credit for any of it,
And along with that, being good at things, working hard, using the gifts and talents that God has given you effectively is not arrogance. No. Being able to point out the fact that you work hard is not arrogance. I talk to people all the time with self-esteem issues, and really the thing that I like to draw out from that is, if it is not positioning yourself in a place that is higher than someone else, if it is not malicious in nature, there is nothing wrong with being good and knowing that you're good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're good at stuff, that's what's going to draw other people in. I mean, if I'm not a good preacher, how many people I'm really going to reach for God, right? I mean, being good at what you do is what gives you the influence and the platform that you have.
Yeah, and on the same side of that, they flip it. If I'm beating up on myself, if I'm being hard on myself, that is not humility. That is not biblical humility lived out. No, what that is something else. In fact, you could even twist that into pride based on what metric you think that you should be so much better than.
Yeah, it's coming from a selfish lens, because when you're being hard on yourself, then again, you're taking whatever it is that you dislike about yourself and saying that it's about you. And again, this is everything you have is from God. So if you don't like the fact that you're doing something and you're not doing it very well, and you start being hard on yourself, really what you're doing is you're being hard on God, because it's from God.
Yeah, and you're challenging what God says about who you are, where your value is, where it comes from. What I've discovered when it comes to self-esteem issues is most people have practiced this. You've practiced your low self-esteem. You've practiced a self-deprecating mock humility for so long that if we were to say, hey, don't do that, you would hear that and go, what do you expect? It takes time to rewire patterns, thought processes. It sometimes is going to be a very intentional, tedious process to get to that place where you start taking a true biblical understanding of what humility is and isn't, and B, a point of recognition that when you work with what God has given you, when God blesses through that, you are allowed to enjoy it. Remember whose it is, remember who it came from, but denying it isn't necessarily what the outcome's supposed to be.
Yeah, just don't forget, it's not necessarily about who you are, it's about whose you are.